ஓகேங்க. ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட்.
Okay. So let me start with document types. So here in PromoMax, we will get requirement, and I'll tell you the few types where we get the requirement to update. So those are the GRP material type. So you know about document type, no? So it is hierarchy involved where all documents is categorized, and so we will have type, subtype, classification.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know. Yeah.
So we will get mostly we will get requirement in this GRP material type.
Okay.
And in this MAC material digital assert license file. And this US MAC material. So we have 3 or 4 categories where we will get requirement frequently. So that is on this MAC document, GRP material, and in object, if we see in object, we will get requirement in DSR, which is digital site registry. So we will get a requirement to update the life cycle or workflows related to this digital site.
Okay.
And so this digital registry object, we have different fields.
Okay.
So you know about the object structure, no? So here we will have object type. If we have different object type, that will be listed here. So here in this digital registry, we have only base digital registry type, and we have fields. If we need to make any changes to the DSR fields, then we have to come here and whatever the fields asked by business, so that we have to make some changes. So for example, I think ISRA field. So here there was recently we had a requirement to update this the label ISRA ID to ISA ID, and also to change the length length and type to alphanumeric, so something like that. So if we get some requirement, so we will we have to come here and make some changes. And relationship, I haven't worked on these relationship part, but from this UI we can see that it has inbound relationship with these 3 objects and outbound relationship with these 5 objects. So to talk about this inbound and outbound relationship, maybe we can refer help page. I don't have a proper definition for this for now.
Okay.
I'll check and tell you.
Yeah.
This layouts. So here in the layout section, we can do UI change. So how we can configure how the UI should look like for DSR object.
Okay.
So let me show you one record. So here, if we see, um, so this is this is what we configure here: the layout, site details, method of inquiry, key dates. So these are all displayed here, and the fields where it should be placed, the placement of the fields, and in which section what field should display. So those things we are configuring it here in the layouts. So. So if we see here site type, campaign, site registration number, so site name, site registration number. So the placement of field is defined there. And if we see this layout rules here, these rules are configured to, for example, if we need to hide some field based on a other field. So we have to here, if we see this condition is for if this layout, we have to hide this field. We have to hide site type other field if this condition is if it meets this condition. If the DSR record meets this, the site type is other, then it should hide that field. So something like that will be configuring it here for the layout rules. Uh, and this sharing rule is for the DAC, matching sharing rule, custom sharing rule. So here in the detail section, if we enable this uh, dynamic, yeah, we have to enable this matching sharing rule, custom sharing rule only when we enable this dynamic access control. Uh, these two checkbox only, then we will this tab will get enabled, and we will be able to add rules for this. So dynamic access control is nothing but when we configure user role setup records for this. For example, if country, here we have given rule like we have enabled this country for this quality role. So if the record meets, I'll open one user role setup record. Once I'm completing the produce, you see the for example, here we have the role as quality, and user is DSR Quincy quality, country is United States. So only when if the record meets these conditions, then only this user DSR Quincy quality is the username. So this user can access the record, or they can complete any task assigned to this user. For example, here if the country, if we see country is US, the United States. So for this record, DSR Quincy quality will have access. So if we, so the user will get automatically added to the role. Here, if we see in the sharing settings, quality. So here it DS sharing rule. So it is coming from the sharing rule quality DR. So it is for this record, it is automatically getting added. So uh, that is the definition of DAC, dynamic access control. It automatically adds users to the group.
Okay.
Um,
So like based on a condition, customizing the access level.
Right. That is here in the custom sharing role, we will be adding the group and the role. So that is configured here. Action and validation. So for this action, I've not worked on this action part, but on this validation rules, if we see, so here we validate the record. So before creation, so this validation rule before the record, when we hit on create or save, so it will validate if this rules, if the record meets this condition. If
Okay.
this type is equal to website and is not blank, then it should, so it should not throw some error. It or if it is not, if it is blank, then it will show some error. So something like that, we have to mandatorily fill the field. So for that, this validation rule is used.
Okay.
So this is on the object part. On the document part, this field, so this different types will have different fields.
Yeah.
So here we few fields will be pickless text or object that we have to take care. And if we need to make any config changes to the document fields, then we'll be navigating here and check on the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I have added some pickless fields and all for the transfer process.
Okay. So for the security overrides, we will define here if what should be the default security. It should be editable or read only.
Okay.
So header and read only, editable. So these three options we have here.
Okay.
And on the field dependency, if we, so this field dependency, we have three types. So we can control field dependency type by type, document field, and document lifecycle. So this document, I'll open any one rule. So here the condition is within life cycle. So if the record is with this life cycle and status is approved with the comments, and if the role is owner, then this field should be read only. This should not be editable. So that is the different dependency we have defined here. So we may get requirement like this, means for some life cycle, for example, if it is GRP life cycle, for GRP life cycle, and if the state is in approved with the production or something, and the role regulatory role should not be able to edit the product field. So something like that, if we get some requirement, we'll be adding field dependency rule here so that we will restrict that user from editing the record.
Okay. So what are all the three types? One is with life
cycle, document field, document type. This document field can be controlled by one. The value of one field will be able to control the other field. For example, if product is this, then the other field, some date field should be editable. So something like that. Mm. So document type. So this is with document type. If this is GRP material and field, this field is yes, then this field is required or it is mandatory to field. So something like that.
Okay.
And same here. So this type and this field is yes, then this is required. So this condition we will be defining here to restrict the user from editing or weaving, uh, updating the field.
Okay.
Okay, I'll move to life cycle, document life cycle. So we have two life cycle, one for document and one for um, object.
Yeah.
Here, if we see, we have two categories. This is document life cycle. This is the object life cycle. This object life cycle is the objects. Example, the DSR object will have object life cycle defined here, and document life cycle. I'll go to GRP life cycle, for example. Material. So here, while creating the life cycle, we will be defining, we'll be tagging that with the type. So we'll after giving the name of the life cycle, we'll click on save. After saving, it'll prompt to give the document type. So here we will be defining which type this life cycle will use.
Okay.
So here I'll go to mostly we will not have requirement to create life cycle all. So mostly we'll get requirement to update the existing life cycle.
Okay.
To create state or to edit the roles, so something like that. So this is the detail page where we are defining the document type. So this life cycle uses both GRP material and Japan slide review document type uses this life cycle. And steady so start state, so here we are defining so here we have the states, right? So these are the states we have in this life cycle. We'll be creating states, basically here we will have just draft state, and I think we'll have only draft state while creating the life cycle. After creating life cycle, we have to add all these states. It will not be predefined. We are defining all these states. We have created all these states. So this is just a state. So Vault should know what is the starting state. The document should be created. So this is defined here. So the starting state should be draft. So when we create a document, when we create a document in this GRP material, then the state should be draft. So that we are defining here. So the wall should know what should be the steady state of the document. So that is approved for distribution. That is the steady state. And this the superseded status, superseded, obsolete status, expired, and in review status, in review. Okay. So the states, we may have requirement to create a state. So just we'll be clicking on create and give the state name label, and if we hit on create, will be created. And here in each state we have okay, let me complete the life cycle tabs. So this is on state to create state. Event action. So here we have to define some, we will be defining some action. Event action is the action performed by Vault while creating document or creating draft or creating copy of a document. So here we have few rules defined here. So this is all as per business requirement. While creating life cycle, we will not have these rules. So this is according to business. They'll ask for the requirement to be added. If we want to create document, means when the action is create document, when we create documents, so the Vault will perform these action. So here we have few rules. I'll explain one rule. So here, if the type is Japan slide review, so this life cycle uses two types. One is GRP and one is Japan slide review. So if the type is Japan slide review and if the country is Japan for the document, then we have to perform this action. We have to update the field. We have to update this expiration date field to um, even date. I think we have a date, even date plus 5 years. So we will be adding 5 years to the even date, and we will be updating this expiration date field.
Okay.
So that is the condition here. The next condition is, so we have so many conditions. Maybe when you get access to this Vault, you can check on other rules.
Okay.
So for example, and again for this create draft also, when we want to create draft, that time we have these rules. If the subtype is the GRP material, global template material, then we have to set this field. Is this a core material? So that is set using formula. So we are updating that to true. So this is yes or no field. So we are updating this to true. So this is on event action and on roles. So we have different roles. Initially, while creating work, this life cycle, we will have few roles only: owner, coordinator, editor, weaver. So consumer. So we have 3 or 4 roles which will be configured already by Vault.
Okay.
But we need some more roles to be added to this life cycle. It is all based on business requirement. So we will be adding all these roles. If they need librarian to this life cycle to review some task, then we have to add that role. We may get requirement to update the role. Means, for example, in Mac lifecycle, actually, it is not in this lifecycle. We had requirement to update Metcom to SciCom in the Mac lifecycle. So some requirement will get like that to update the label of the role.
Okay.
So this expiration field, here we don't have anything defined. You can check on this expiration and Vault page.
Okay.
E-signature pages. So this is the template when we e-sign, then we will be using this template when we download the rendition. Maybe we will have this signature page added if the country is these Ireland, United States, United Kingdom, and material intent is promotional, then we should use this template, UK promotional template. So something like that, it is defined here. I've not checked on this e-signature pages. We will check later on the help page. Overlays, no, it is like a watermark. In the document, we may have, when we download the rendition, we can see in the side it will be approved or in review. So that is the overlays. is basically watermark to the doc, or in diagonally we will have it is upwrote, or in
Okay.
the footer we will have the name and document number. So that is all overlays.
Okay. Kind of that water drop.
Yeah, watermark. Yeah.
Okay.
Now let me go to these states and open a state. So here we have inside state tab, for each state tab we will have user action, security settings, entry criteria, entry action, atomic security to be defined. So user action is nothing but for example, we have a workflow. Workflow is nothing but a business process where we can change state from one to other. 1 minute, Anmati. The call.
Yes.